You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your representation of us.
This is not a pundit on television. This is not a debate between politicians. This is an old farmer standing at a microphone at his congressman's town hall, on the verge of losing everything, telling his elected representative exactly what he thinks of him. And he does it with more clarity, more honesty, and more moral force than anything you will hear from a professional commentator. He talks about the price of steak. He talks about walking into Costco. He talks about feeding his great-grandchildren. And then he delivers the line that has been going around the internet ever since. You need to take your head out of Trump's backside and start doing your representation of us. This is what democracy is supposed to sound like. This is Fool's Ballot. Subscribe if you are not already there. Now let us get into it.
And is a dictator. He knows nothing about what he talks about. I listened to him for about a half hour today, and I got sick at all the lies he brought up. Now, I'm about ready to lose my farm. Do you know why? I'm sure you don't know why.
Lose your what, sir?
Farm.
Farm?
Yeah.
Why is that, sir?
Because Missouri does not have wills. They have trust. They have legal zigzags. And a trust, most people don't know anything about. So I'm dealing with a state that's a crooked state, doesn't care about what farmers happen. The only reason why we have farmers today is because the federal government funds them. How much money of our tax money goes to farmers? Farmers work very hard, but they're funded by the federal government, not by selling groceries. That's what Foster Farms and all of those characters, that's where they get their money. The price of steaks, $20 a pound, because of big business. You want to straighten out the budget? Start taxing corporations and the wealthy, like we've been telling you. Do you think we're idiots? Do you think we don't pay taxes? Do you think that we don't have to make budgets? You talk about half-truths when I listen to you. You know nothing about taking care of children because you've always had a really good-paying job. You know nothing about what a working-class citizen does. Come down here. Come down here and start trying to pay your medical insurance. Come down here and walk into Costco to try to feed your family, to feed your kid that's moved out, to feed your great-grandchildren. I had a very good job in California, and I'm able to feed my family, and it goes all the way to great-grandchildren. You're not helping me. Believe me, you're not helping me. You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your representation of us.
Let us talk about what this farmer actually said, because it deserves to be taken seriously as political analysis, not just celebrated as a viral moment. Because buried inside what sounds like raw anger is a coherent and devastating critique of exactly what is wrong with American politics right now. His first point is about farming itself, and it is one that rarely gets said plainly in mainstream political debate. Farmers in America are not primarily funded by selling produce. They are funded by the federal government. Subsidies, price supports, crop insurance programs, conservation payments. The entire agricultural system in the United States is underwritten by taxpayer money. This is not a criticism of farmers. It is a description of how American agriculture actually works, and it creates an obvious question that this farmer is asking directly. If federal government funding is what keeps American farms alive, then what happens when that funding is cut, redirected, or undermined by trade policies that destroy export markets? The tariffs that the Trump administration has imposed have devastated American agricultural exports, particularly to China, which was one of the largest buyers of American soybeans, pork, and other farm products. This farmer is not losing his farm because he is a bad farmer. He is losing it because the political decisions being made in Washington are pulling the structural support out from under an industry that was never designed to stand without it. His second point is about corporate power and food prices, and it is equally sharp. He points out that the price of steak is $20 a pound. He is right that this is not happening because farmers are getting rich. The gap between what farmers receive for their produce and what consumers pay at the till is enormous and growing. The beneficiaries of that gap are the large agricultural corporations, the meat processors, the distributors, and the retailers who control the supply chain between the farm and the Costco shelf. When this farmer says tax corporations and the wealthy, he is not making an abstract ideological argument. He is describing the specific mechanism by which money is being extracted from both ends of the food system, from farmers at one end and from consumers at the other, and concentrated in the middle by entities that contribute nothing to the actual production of food. His third point is about representation, and it is the most politically important of all. He says the congressman knows nothing about what a working-class citizen does because he has always had a well-paid government job. That observation cuts through the entire culture war noise that dominates American political discourse right now. The Republican Party has spent years presenting itself as the party of working people, of farmers, of the forgotten heartland. And this farmer, who is literally a heartland farmer, is standing at a microphone telling his Republican congressman to his face that he is not representing working people. He is representing Trump. There is a direct line between that observation and everything we cover on this channel about the gap between what populist politicians promise and what they actually deliver. Trump promised to protect farmers. His tariffs have destroyed their export markets. Trump promised to lower food prices. Prices have gone up. Trump promised to take on the corporations. The corporations are doing fine. The farmer is losing his farm. And then there is that final line, delivered not with fury, but with exhausted certainty. The tone of a man who has run out of patience and run out of polite ways to say what needs to be said. You need to take your head out of Trump's backside and start doing your representation of us. The congressman had no answer, because there is no answer. You cannot argue with a man's lived experience. You cannot tell someone who is about to lose his farm that the golden age is coming. You cannot tell someone who is walking into Costco watching prices rise that the tariffs are working. Reality is a more powerful debating opponent than any pundit. And this farmer brought reality to that microphone. This is Fool's Ballot. Hit the like button, drop your thoughts in the comments below, subscribe to the channel if you are not already there, and share this one because this farmer said what millions of people are feeling and he deserves to be heard. I will see you in the next one.